Welcome to the Songwriter Connection podcast, where we look at the craft of songwriting through the eyes of the songwriter. Each week, we make a connection with a music maker, listen to their songs, and hear their stories. From Nashville, Tennessee, here's your host, Dave Lenihan.
Yeah, Nashville. So you must be a country singer, right? I get that all the time. And you know, if you've been listening to this podcast for a while, there are a couple of misconceptions that we try to clear up all the time. And the first is that Nashville is a country music town. No, let me tell you, Nashville is a songwriter. It's a song town. It is a music town. It's Music City because it's Music City. It's not just country music. We've got all genres here. Hey, Jimi Hendrix lived here for a while, for heaven's sakes, you know? So we've got it all. And, you know, there's a radio station I listen to all the time called Radio Sobro, which originates here in Nashville. It streams online. And if you want to get a feeling of what our Nashville music is all about, please listen to that station. You're going to hear... You know, I hate genres. That's the other misconception. The genres. People try to, you know, we'll let the marketers and the record people and the radio stations put, you know, they try to put you in these boxes. And, you know, I can understand that. But it's more than that. And you've heard me talk about how the successful ones define their own genre. And that's the case with our guest today, too. But check out Radio Sobro. You're going to hear a wide variety of music. And that's what I love about it. Terrestrial radio down here that also streams is WMOT, which is Roots Radio. And again, they're the same way. You know, you're going to hear bluegrass, but you're going to hear blues, and you're going to hear alternative type music. So keep that in mind. We are a drinking town with a music problem. No, wait a minute. It's the other way around. It's a music town with a. Never mind. But anyway, it's Nashville, and we have the best musicians in the world. Bar none. When you come to town, no matter where you go, you are watching the best musicians, I feel, in the world, because they come from all over to try to make it in Nashville. It's like that Sinatra song. If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere, right? Yeah. Of course, that was about New York. You know,
that makes sense for Nashville.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. New York's a major music capital as well, just like Nashville. Hey, our guest is Camden West.
It's good to be here.
It's good to have you here, man. You know, I got to tell you, I first saw Camden play at the Commodore Lounge, and we talk about the different writers' rounds around town. And again, if you go to a writers' rounds, and that's my favorite thing to do, you're going to see musicians playing a wide variety of genres, if you will. When I first saw this guy, I was just blown away. I mean, it's obviously got a great voice. He's an awesome player, and there's reasons for that. And then, like a few weeks later, I'm listening to Radio Sobro. And along comes this beautiful song, and I'm just taken away by it. I go, oh my, that's at Camden West. And since then, he's played at my writers' rounds at 12 Keys. Can I play this song?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
This is called Falling, and then we're going to learn all about Camden West. It's a beautiful song.
Thank you.
Starlight, dance in your eyes, roses, your lips, taste of strawberry wine. I got a feeling I want you and no one else. Can't stop this feeling. I'm about to lose myself, falling for you. Completely and over my head. I don't wanna fall asleep. I don't wanna fall asleep. And I'm falling into you. And I don't want this night to end. I don't wanna fall asleep. I wanna fall for you over and over again. Lay back, relax, lay your head on my chest, wrapped in silence, breathe you in with each breath. Let's stay together, but we don't ever have to leave. Stay here forever, wide awake in this dream, falling for you completely. stay together. We don't ever have to leave. Stay here forever. Wide awake in this dream. And I'm falling for you, completely in over my head. I don't wanna fall asleep, because I'm falling in too deep. No, I'm falling to you, and I don't want this night to end. I don't wanna fall asleep, I wanna fall for you, over and over again. Over and over again. Over and over again. Over again. Over and over again. I wanna fall for you, over and over again.
Right? Great song.
It's been a while since I've listened to that one.
Has it? Boy, the production on that is just fantastic.
Thank you.
Did you write that by yourself?
No, so that one actually, when I first moved to Nashville, I was doing a lot of writing by myself. And when I moved to Nashville, I learned...
We cure you of that here in this town, don't we?
You do get cured from that. And I actually wrote that one with my friends Donna DeSopo and Scott Barrier.
Oh.
And,
see, Scott's one of my favorite writers. I know Donna, too. Beautiful people.
Amazing, yeah. Both of them great writers. And produced by Nate Cornell. I don't know if you know Nate Cornell.
I don't.
Great producer in town.
Yeah? What studio?
His own home studio, yeah. I'm not sure the name of it. I think he does have a name for it, but
More and more people are doing it.
Yeah.
And that's awesome.
A nice home studio. And
the sound is incredible.
Yeah, I mean...
Absolutely.
He's great. And, we wrote that one together and got it done.
Yeah.
Released it. It's exciting. I've always liked that one. I've always liked that one.
It's a very good song. It's beautiful. It doesn't get old.
Thank you.
Let's do a lot. In fact, I was listening to you all morning, getting ready for this this interview. You've got some really good songs.
Thank you.
You've had a long journey to get to Nashville. You were born in L.A., right?
I was born in L.A. I lived there for about probably 2 months.
2 months? It's like me in Buffalo. I was born in Buffalo.
Okay.
But I didn't live there very long.
I still consider myself, I was born in L.A., so my family's from L.A.
Okay, well, let me ask this: you're an Angels fan or a Dodgers fan?
I'd say if an L.A. fan, probably Dodgers.
Dodgers. Okay.
What about you?
Well, I grew up in Cleveland, so they're calling them the Guardians now, so that's my team.
Okay.
But it's like I got my Wahoo hat on today.
Okay, yeah.
It'll always be the Indians to me.
Yeah.
See, it all comes down to baseball or guitars with me.
Okay.
Or songs.
All right.
So from L.A., you moved at quite a young age to where?
Yeah, we moved to Dallas, Texas.
Dallas, Texas.
Yeah, Dallas, Texas, and lived in Texas till I was about 10 years old. And when I was 10, moved to Las Vegas.
Vegas, okay.
Vegas, so,
there's a neat place to live, huh?
Yeah. Vegas was... I mean, for me, it was normal.
Uh-huh.
But, when I tell people I'm from Vegas, people always ask, did you grow up in a hotel?
I grew up in the sands.
Grew up in the sands.
Yeah.
School was I learned how to be a poker dealer.
It's kind of like when people say Nashville. Oh, you're country, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I don't like country music. No.
Yeah.
Do you like music? Anyway, no, I hear you. You. People.
I mean, it's exactly the same. I mean,
Yeah.
when I tell people I live in Nashville now, so you must do country music.
Yeah. Well, what was the draw to Nashville for you?
Because
obviously LA is a musical capital. There's so much music going on in Vegas, but
so I grew up going back and forth to LA all the time. Mm-hmm. I still have family that lives out there, so I went out there and I love it there. And I think the music industry there, is it's booming. It's all there.
It's different, isn't it?
It's very different when you compare the two. But I didn't really know much about Nashville until I was in college, and I got an email from some people that lived out in Nashville, and they said, "Oh, you should check out Nashville. It's a cool place." And I was wondering, wait, is that do they do music there? And so I ended up taking a trip out here, and it opened me up to this whole world of recording, and everything's here, and I just fell in love with it. And I recorded a few songs out here, played a few shows, and I played a writer's round actually at the Commodore. And I met
your first writers round was at the Commodore?
My first writers round. I played the open mic for it because I was looking for a place to play, and I somehow got in. And I got lucky and got a spot.
Debbie Champion?
Debbie was there.
Who's been on this show.
Yep.
She's wonderful. Yeah. I was just there last night, actually.
It's an amazing place. I mean, that's a staple here.
Yeah, it is.
And I left and felt so good about playing. I'm like, wow, people care about music here. People listen.
Yeah, they do.
And after college, I went back home to Las Vegas, and I was working out there. And I mean, the music scene in Vegas is really great too. And I just decided I want to try something different and moved to Nashville.
Was it easy to get paying gigs out there in Vegas?
In Vegas,
and to pay as well, I imagine.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely. I mean, there's a lot of opportunity for gigs. I don't think there's as many musicians out there, but there's a very close group of musicians, and there's a lot of gigs. So, I wouldn't say it's hard to get gigs, but there are a lot of places to play.
Oh, good.
There's an original music scene too.
Is there?
It's small. It's much smaller than it is here.
Now, I heard something interesting about you. You were drawn to songwriting at an early age. Like you said, 7th or 8th grade, was it?
Yeah, early on.
Yeah.
Sometime in there.
What was the draw? What was the... was there an artist or something that said, man,
Well, I started playing music when I was young. My parents put me into music lessons. Started off with piano, and then I wanted to be a drummer.
Yeah, I read that.
So... wanted to do that, and then ended up playing guitar.
Mom said, you got to play guitar first.
My mom said, okay, well, if you're going to learn drums, you need to play guitar so you can play around a campfire or something.
Oh, interesting.
And so I decided to do it. I don't know if I had a choice, but I did. And, I thank her now.
Yeah, looking back now.
Yeah,
wow.
And so I fell in love with the guitar.
You're classically trained, right?
I am, yeah. Yeah. I went to, my high school that I went to in Las Vegas, called the Las Vegas Academy, it was a performing arts high school.
Wow.
And basically, it's kind of like college, except for high school, and you have majors. And my major was guitar, classical guitar.
Wow.
So did that, then, yeah. But
That's
for
crazy.
songwriting, it was, I was playing in a band back in middle school, and we were called Gun Show.
Gun Show.
Gun Show, yeah. We started off as a cover band, and at some point...
Gee, I have big biceps, or what was it?
Huge. That's where we got our name. But yeah, I think quickly realized, like, oh, well, if we really want to do this, we have to have original music.
Right.
And I think my mom might have said, people can play, but you should write your own music.
Sure, Beatles did.
The Beatles did,
yeah.
So that's kind of where I started, and I started writing back then. Even before the band, I tried to form a band and play one of my songs that I had.
Do you remember the first song you ever wrote?
I do.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Wow, I couldn't even tell you. But
I remember a few of them, and they're not amazing. That's for sure.
In your mind, back in the time, it was.
In my mind, it was like, oh, this is so cool. This is what the White Stripes are writing.
Yeah.
I'm so good.
Jack White fan?
Oh, I love the White Stripes, yeah.
There's another famous Nashvilleian.
Oh,
right?
my God, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I love the White Stripes and, the Rock on Tours and the Jack White solo stuff.
Absolutely.
And then, I'm listening to the White Stripes and I hear their music and I'm like, oh, I can probably do this. I'm, 12 years old. And now I'm looking at their music and be like, okay, I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that. This stuff is amazing.
It's so, I think about Jack White, and every time you watch a football game, you hear Seven Nation, they're going, da, 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 da,
yeah.
and you're like, how much, I'd love to see his royalty check just on that song.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
It's a classic.
It is. It really is.
It's a classic. Yeah.
So that's cool. And you had a lot of influences. I imagine, living in Dallas, you've had, there's a definite scene there.
Yeah.
Vegas, I mean, it's all genres again. Yeah. LA, and now Nashville, you mix all that together and you come up with the Camden West sound, how do you explain that to folks?
I don't really know, because I think a lot of the music I listen to, it doesn't sound the same to what I do. I mean, my favorite band of all time is the Rolling Stones.
Is it really?
Yeah.
God bless you. Wow.
Just kind of grew up listening to them. It's my dad's favorite band. And,
really? Okay.
Grew up kind of going to see them.
Was Mom and Dad musical? Did they play?
My dad played piano.
Okay.
My mom, I think when she was in high school, played the clarinet or something.
Uh-huh.
But, they like to listen to music.
Oh.
They like to listen to music. So my house was always filled with music.
That's good.
Listening to everything. Even now, my dad knows more about the newer stuff that comes out than I do.
Really?
He follows things. He's
a hip guy.
Yeah, he loves music.
That's good. That's
it
good
is
to hear.
cool.
And you guys lived in Cleveland for a little while, right?
I didn't. My dad
where
did.
I grew up. Yeah. Your dad did?
My dad did.
Mm-hmm.
My dad moved to Cleveland when he was young and grew up there, went to college, and then...
and again, you talk about misconceptions. People go, Cleveland, that's rock and roll. Rock and roll capital of the world. Yeah, rock and roll is a big part of Cleveland. But you know what? I worked in country radio up there.
Wow. Wow.
So and
it's
there's
a cool place.
And jazz and a lot of different genres. So,
I don't think there should be any barriers with music. I think music is music. It's a language.
And I always like to ask this question because again, I'm an anti-genre. So when people, don't you love the question, what kind of music do you play?
Yeah.
What kind of music do you play?
It's a hard one. I got it last night. Oh, I don't know. I don't know how to describe it.
I play music.
Yeah. Music.
Yeah.
I like.
Music.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, back to your question. I don't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Influences come from all over the place.
All over.
I love.
Yeah.
Singer-songwriters. I love classic rock music. All of it.
And you must love classical as well.
I do. I think it's it helps you. It calms me down.
That's awesome. I'm not going to ask you to play Bach or anything, but I want to hear another song, one that maybe you wrote and tell the story behind.
Yeah.
Because you got new music coming out.
I have a new song coming out next week. I decided pretty recently to release.
Now we're taping this. I want you to know we're recording this in February, so you're talking about a release on the 24th.
24th, yep.
So it's out there right now for you folks.
Yeah,
stream it everywhere.
It's out.
But maybe you'll get to hear it now.
Yeah, I can. I can play it now. So
I love it.
This one basically I wrote a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
This one was a solo, right? And I brought it to a friend in LA. His name's Stephen T.
Stephen
T. A good friend of mine from high school. He moved to LA and doing the producing thing, songwriting thing, and went to him and wanted to work on the song together, and I wanted him to produce it. And when we finished, I'm like, wow, it's really cool. It's different from what I usually do, which I thought was awesome. So, so I decided I wanted to release it kind of as a feature. So it's Camden West featuring Stephen T. Produced by Stephen T. Awesome. And decided recently to release it. So I'll play it right now.
Very cool. And then we'll find it. We'll find it out there, Spotify, wherever you find music.
Wherever you find music.
Camden West.
It's called Try.
Try.
It's a little bit funny, it's a little bit sad. When worlds come together, shouldn't be this bad. Where's the money gone? Why do our mouths just run at each other? Let's call off our dogs and settle down. We're never gonna win this if we don't try. We're never gonna win this if we never think to ask each other why. Never gonna win this if we don't try to compromise. If we can, I shut my eyes and fantasize about a better life in a world that doesn't bite. All we gotta do is try. I'm a little bit angry and a tiny bit numb. The prey goes out running, the hunt's just begun. When has profanity won? Peace, love, the prodigal son. Let's call off our dogs and settle down. We're never gonna win this if we don't try. We're never gonna win this if we never think to ask each other why. We're never gonna win this if we don't try to compromise. As if we can, I'll shut my eyes doesn't bite. All we gotta do is try. In a world that doesn't bite. Look ahead, all of the things we wanted are there. Look ahead, all of the things we wanted are there. I'm aware all of our reasons are made for repair. Look ahead, all of the things we wanted are there. We broke down and turned ourselves around. Well, at least we know we got miles and miles to go.
Camden West on the Songwriter Connection podcast. Song is out there right now. We're going to talk more about it on the other side of this. Don't go away.
You're listening to the Songwriter Connection, connecting with music makers and hearing their songs and stories. Now back to the show with your host, Dave Linehan.
Camden West is our guest. You're listening to the Songwriter Connection podcast, and we certainly do appreciate you. If you're listening to this and watching on YouTube, I know we're not a video podcast yet. Maybe that's coming, but we always put the audio up there. And I want to thank you for listening there, and just like and subscribe if you will, because that really helps us. It really does. Word around the world. And we've got a lot of listeners out there, and we do appreciate you all. We're over 215,000 streams now worldwide, so thank you for that. Do appreciate that. Camden West, we talk a lot about Nashville. The community it's just such an amazing musical community, and you find your own folks that you hang and you like to write with, and we call it your class,
Class.
And two recent guests on our podcast, you write and perform with a lot. Brian Ruby, who's the pro ball player we've had on not too long ago, and Dan Harrison.
Yeah.
In fact, you guys all played together, I think.
Actually, yeah.
At 12 Keys,
at
right?
12 Keys for your round, yeah.
And it was an amazing round. So tell us how you met and some of the stuff you guys do. You write regularly?
Yeah. So, how did we meet? So I met Dan.
Yeah, I know.
I met Dan when I first moved to town.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually at the GSC meeting.
Global Songwriter Connection.
Yes.
And they're an amazing group. And we've had Cherie on the show, so look them up.
Yeah, check them out. Really helpful and great people.
Yeah.
An awesome thing to be part of. And I met Dan through that. We became really good friends through that.
And that's how I met Dan, too. Yeah. Interesting.
Small world.
Yeah. Because Cherie says you got to have him on your podcast.
That's so funny.
And then he just... that's connections. That's why we call it Songwriter Connection.
That's the connection.
Yeah.
You're one person away here.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's really...
6 degrees of Kevin Bacon, right?
Yes.
Right.
So, so I met Dan through that, and I met Brian actually through Dan. Wow. Because I think they went to school together or something.
Yes. Philadelphia?
Yeah, I think they're both from... Yeah, they're both from Philadelphia. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So...
Still sorry about the Eagles, guys. Sorry.
It's a tough one.
Yeah.
Tough one.
But, wow.
So
cool.
yeah, I mean, it's amazing how you meet people in this town.
Mm-hmm.
It's, you make friends, and you also make business partners, and
you do,
writing partners. It's
Mm-hmm.
one of those towns.
Yeah.
It's unlike anything else.
So before you came to Nashville, you did a lot of solo writing.
Yes, yeah.
And was it hard to adapt to that? Did you resist it first? Because I know for some people, it's hard to open up with people you don't really know,
right?
And share ideas and go deep. Was it tough for you?
Yeah, I think because I was so used to always writing by myself. At first, it was hard, but I really tried to dive in and just write as much as possible when I first moved to town. And then I started realizing, oh wow, I do want to continue solo writing too. I don't want to forget how to do that because it's a muscle.
Yeah,
and
and the more you do it, the stronger you get.
The more you do it, the stronger you get. But yeah, I think still to this day, it's still sometimes hard to really open yourself up. It has to be with the right people.
It does.
You have to be around people that you feel that you can be vulnerable with, because songwriting is such a vulnerable thing.
It is.
You're letting out your heart and soul. You're gonna make mistakes. You're gonna say things that maybe someone else isn't gonna like. So,
and as we've talked about in co-writing in past Songwriter Connections, we did one on co-writing, and we always try to tell you can't be afraid to throw it out.
You can't be, yeah.
Throw it out. It may sound stupid to you, but it may spark in something in somebody else, or somebody going, that's not stupid at all. I love that,
Yeah.
So you got to take that filter off and just
you really have to allow yourself to just be yourself.
Yeah.
Because if you're quiet and you don't want to throw something out, you're never going to know.
Yeah, that's true.
And most of the time, you'll surprise yourself.
Yeah.
People,
I think you will.
People will like. I think people like ideas that you don't think are going to be the best ideas. Do you know what I mean?
I do know what you mean. No, it happens. Yeah, yeah.
And I'm scared of that too. I'll go into a write being like, oh, I shouldn't say that because it's not going to. It's probably dumb.
Yeah, I know. I still get that too, and it's hard sometimes to overcome that.
Yeah.
I had a progression I was playing. I just really loved the melody, and I play it more of like a warm up, right?
Yeah.
And I was in a writing session with Randy Driscoll, who plays piano, and Dakota Danielle's a great guitar player. Both have been on the podcast. And I said, I got this. I don't know, and Randy's going, oh, I like that. She starts playing the piano part. Next thing you know, we had a song. And I almost wasn't even going to suggest it.
Yeah.
Which I want to go back to the song you just played before the break,
yeah.
Try. And maybe you can give us an idea. Was that a solo write?
That was a solo write.
That was a solo
yeah,
write.
That was
so
a solo.
Talk about that idea and expanding that idea. And maybe I would imagine the produced version is so much different than what we just heard.
It's very. I'll play it for you.
You will. I can't wait to hear it.
It's it's very different in a cool way, in my opinion. I think it's cool. It has an electronic type feel to it.
Not quite an ED, but almost.
Almost, yeah. But it's cool. It's different. It's very different.
Different is good.
Yeah. I'm excited to put it out, and was really happy to work with my friend Stefan on it. He's a really talented producer, songwriter too, and
I wish you the best with it.
Yeah.
The idea. Tell me about the idea.
So, it's a good question. So basically, I think I was probably just playing around on guitar and
Wow, that sounds pretty cool, huh?
And then I think I just started singing some stuff, and there a lot of stuff's going on in the world and things in my life, and the idea comes around just conflict. Conflict, whether it's conflict of political conflict or relationship conflict or
war conflict.
Everything. War. Yeah, I mean a lot of that going on. So that's kind of where the idea came from. It was just we're not gonna get through this if we don't try.
Mm-hmm.
There's things shouldn't be as bad as they are.
Yeah.
There's
maybe we
ways
can
of
change that with songs, with music. You know,
it's been done before.
Yeah.
And I think music has the capability of healing things.
Yeah, I agree.
I think it has. I think throughout the 60s, the 70s, lots of stuff going on there, and music brought people together.
And we need that today.
Yeah,
more than ever.
Yeah. It doesn't matter what side of things you are. You probably listen to the same music that
absolutely
that the other side's listening to.
Yeah,
which is.
And it also brings together generations too. It's like you said, your dad had great taste in music. And turned you on a lot of stuff.
That's one of the things my dad and I bond on the most
music.
is music. We every time I'm back home in Las Vegas, we'll go to a concert.
Yeah.
we'll fly out to go see a concert. I mean, that's
very cool.
It's what we do.
Yeah.
So it's a really cool thing.
Mm-hmm.
And, bonds you with people that you don't think you have a connection with too.
Yeah.
You could meet someone that you don't really know, but they're like, oh, you like the same music? Let's go to this concert, and there's a friendship,
Yeah, there you go.
So.
Yeah, again, connections. I read something interesting about you, and I think we have this in common. You had mentioned in one of the articles that I wrote that even at a young age, it was the melody that grabbed you. You didn't pay as close attention to the lyrics.
Yeah.
But then once that melody grabbed you, then, is that still the case today?
Yeah, I think so. It's funny because here in Nashville, it's very lyric-centered town.
It is. It really. It's got to be the story, the idea.
It's
right?
the story that's the most important part, and which has to be.
Uh-huh. But if you combine those things together,
it's amazing. And you have a good melody and great lyrics. It's there's your song.
Yeah.
But I think growing up, I was so focused on the melody, and I would hear melody, but I wouldn't listen to the lyrics.
Yeah.
So I would.
That's the same way. I can hear you. Yeah. I know where you're coming from.
I'd be able to hum things. I could, sing any Rolling Stone song, maybe not know the lyrics, but I'll on any song,
or not get the lyrics right.
Yeah.
I love those.
Yeah.
What do you call those? Spooner? I can't remember what they're called. You almost get the lyrics right.
You almost get them. You say,
never be your pizza burning. Speaking of the Rolling Stones.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So. Is it still that way today? Does it start with a melody for you?
I think for me it starts with a melody.
Yeah.
Unless I have a solid idea in my head and I'm like, I need to write this.
Yeah.
It usually starts with a melody or a guitar part.
Yeah. I kind of was always the same way, but lately, in the last couple of years, I've been starting with the idea.
Yeah.
Well, there's been occasions where I haven't, but because sometimes you get that melody stuck in your head, and you go, "What is that?" And I play it for my wife, and I go, "Patty, what is this?" I don't know. I can't place it. And maybe it's, maybe it is original, and then what's it saying? What is this melody telling me? And then something comes out of it. But lately, we'll talk about an idea, and we'll develop that idea, and it seems like the melody pops from there.
Yeah.
If you get the lyric really right. Recently, I had a co-write with a young lady, Olivia Steele, who I think she's an amazing talent and wonderful person. She had a great idea. And we wrote the chorus verse first. And we just it took a little while, but when we build on it and that important line before the hook, we had to get that right. And, and when it was done, it read and it made a lot of sense. And we said, I think that captures what we're trying to do. And the melody just popped from there. We picked up the guitar and boom,
Yeah.
So I've seen it both ways.
Yeah.
Have you?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
It's amazing when you have that perfect line that just fits and the lyric just comes and it just hits in the right way. You're like, wow, I have to write something to that.
Yeah.
I have to write some music to that.
And sometimes I'll pick up the guitar and I got to play it. I got to play it while we're writing. And sometimes when you're playing that, the lyric pops out. What did I just say? What was that?
Yeah. Well, sometimes the way I write is I'll have my guitar and I'll walk in circles around a room.
I got to do that every now and then too.
It's just, I don't know. It's something about circulation or something.
Yeah, I think so. This is really fun. I don't know if we've ever talked about this before, but and this is an interesting story. There was a place called the Writers Workshop downtown on Music Row, and you could rent a writer's room.
I've been there. Yeah.
Have you been there? Yeah. Remember that place? I don't think it's open anymore, but in the restroom there was a jackalope, the rabbit with the antlers, right? And they had a name for him, and I can't think of what it was, but underneath was a little plaque, and it said, if you ever get stuck on this song, come in and talk to this guy, Jack, or whatever he was. So this idea kind of grew from there. So every now and then, you get stuck and hey, what's this next? Where am I going on the second verse hell? I'd excuse myself and go to the restroom and have what we called not an epiphany, an epiphany. Come back. Guys, how about this line?
Oh my God. Sometimes you need that. You need to step away.
Just step away. Yeah.
And you have to just walk, get some fresh air, and something will come.
Yeah, it does. Isn't it? That's what I love about songwriting.
Yeah.
It's absolutely amazing. Some people say that it's all out there and that we're just vessels, that we tune in and it somehow given to us. I don't know if that's true, but sometimes I think,
it could be.
The Akashic record, is that what they call it? Is all the information is up there and you just download it.
It's in the cloud.
It's in the cloud. I don't know what the cloud is, but it's there.
It's there.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, it's
Yeah.
there, and things come to you in weird times. For me, it comes if I'm driving a car or something. Something might come into my head, and I
So many times.
take out my voice notes, my voice memos, and record it. And
There's something about the hum of the road.
Yeah.
It puts you in that, I've written whole songs. Second verse, I remember on one particular song, the whole second verse driving in a car.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's it. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Now, how about ideas? You always got that songwriter radar up, right? You're always looking for things.
It depends. Something might pop up out of nowhere. It really depends. I know some guys that they'll look at a wall and see a picture. Oh, flower, and then I got a song for that. It depends. It really depends on how I'm feeling. I can't really turn it off. It's just
And why would you want to?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes just a random melody will pop into my head, or
That's amazing.
a lyric or something. It really depends. But I also like to, if I'm writing a song, I sing random things, and then
That's a good thing to do.
yeah. Oh, that sounds cool. Maybe I'll work off that.
Yeah. Got a melody, you got to sing something to it. Just,
Yeah.
Well, and the real famous story about that is Paul McCartney with Yesterday.
Oh, yeah, scrambled eggs.
Scrambled eggs,
Yeah.
right? Scrambled
Yeah.
eggs. Could you imagine?
Yeah.
Wow.
There was a I think a Jimmy Fallon show where Paul McCartney went on there and he finished scrambled eggs. So,
I would love to hear that. That's got to be out there somewhere.
It's there, yeah.
Yeah.
Scrambled eggs and waffle fries and all sorts of stuff. It's funny.
Oh, man, I bet you that's hilarious. Well, how about another song?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got the guitar out, and this is Camden West, and he's a great artist and singer-songwriter.
You want to hear a released one or an unreleased one?
What do you feel like? What are you in the mood for today?
I'll do it.
What about your most recent today? Not counting the one that's out there right now before that.
Okay.
Blood on the Table?
Oh, Blood on the Table. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, this is out there.
It's been a while since I've done those, but yeah, I'll
Has
do
it?
it.
Okay.
All I see is blood on the table. Blood on the table. She's watching me bleed. I gave her long ago. She left in a hurry. I think she forgot about me. I could tell by her Snapchat story. We don't talk anymore. No, she don't respond no more. Remember that necklace I bought her? Does she wear it? Or is that out the door like me? I remember I was boarding that plane. I was looking back at her, wondering was she gonna wave goodbye. She sat there staring at her phone. She didn't lift one eye. Guess I already left her mind. And I feel like all I see is blood on the table. Blood on the table. She's watching me bleed. And all she does is party like she's stable. Still I am unable to let my heart beat. I should've let go by now. I wasn't in any hurry. I know she forgot about me. I can tell by her Instagram story. We don't talk anymore. No, I don't reach out no more. Remember that letter I made her for her birthday? Is that gone like she lost me? I remember I was boarding that plane. I was looking down at her, wondering was she gonna wave goodbye. She sat there staring at her phone. She didn't lift one eye. I guess I'd already left her mind. And I feel like all I see is blood on the table. Blood on the table. She's watching me bleed. And all she does is party like she's stable. Still I am unable to let my heart beat. I remember before we went away, we were sitting in my car. You looked at me and said, if you love me, then it's gonna be okay. If it's meant to be, let it be that way. And I said, yes, I love you, and we're gonna be just fine. I'll do this for you, 'cause I need you in my life. And now I'm broken, like a sailor lost at sea. If you get what you get in the night, do you ever think of me? And I feel like all I see is blood on the table. Blood on the table, she's watching me bleed. Now all she does is party like she's stable. Still I am unable to let my heart beat. And now all I do is live life like I'm stable. You were right, I'm better without you. Better without you.
Camden West, our guest on the Songwriter Connection podcast. You wrote that one by yourself?
That was by myself, yes.
Yeah, single writing. So about a particular gal?
Yes, that one was. That one was. I forgot the lyrics. That
never
time
date a songwriter.
You never know what will happen.
Ask Taylor Swift. Yeah. No, but really, the idea behind that was a particular girl. Huh?
It was a particular girl. That one was a true story about. I messed up a few of the lyrics in this time around. I haven't played this one in a long time, but
I never noticed. I thought you wrote it that way.
Yeah. But basically, yeah, it was about a past relationship that didn't work out, and you know, the feeling of someone moving on and you're not, and you're watching this happen.
Yeah,
that was
on her Instagram and Snapchat.
Yeah, exactly. You know, just watching her live her life like everything's okay. So you know, the blood on the table it's just my blood dripping out on the table, basically.
Emotional blood.
Yes, exactly.
I get you. No, I get it.
That was that, and you know, there was a time where there's a lyric. I remember she was boarding that plane. I was looking back at her, wondering what she was going to wave goodbye. The last time I saw her was at an airport. I was getting onto to two separate planes, so I wanted to add that into the song. But yeah, turned into a song.
Did it? Has she heard it? Does she know?
I don't know.
You
It's
don't
a good
know?
question. Probably
Maybe
not.
she's listening right now.
Oh gosh, you never know. You never know.
Man,
but yeah. So that was Blood on the Table.
very cool song.
Thank you.
And that was the single before the current one that's out right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So all of your music, it's out there. All
Yeah,
the
yeah.
likely sites. You've got a Spotify page. You also have a website.
I got a website, CamdenWest.com, Spotify, wherever you stream your music, Apple Music, Tidal. And,
Got it. Yeah.
you know.
And you've played all over. I mean, not only Vegas, but I mean, I saw the Rainbow Room.
I have done the Rainbow Room.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
Yeah, LA. I try to play wherever I can.
Wherever you can.
So I
Get it out there. That's good.
I like to travel. I play. I go wherever I can, wherever they let me play. I'll
Me too.
do it. It's if they let me, I'll do it.
Exactly right.
So
You've got a tremendous voice, and
Thank you.
not only a singing voice, but when I talk about voice, there's another aspect of it. Your writing voice, and I think that's something that evolves. But definitely, you have a voice when it comes to. You've discovered your voice.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that. It's an interesting thing because you do have a voice when you write songs. It's it's you.
It is you.
It's you. You become that person, or those songs become you.
Yes,
And
yeah.
I don't know. I think I've changed over time, and
And you will. You will
As people
always
should.
continue
Yeah.
to evolve as an artist.
and as
a
people
writer.
should. And
Yeah.
I probably didn't sound like this when I first started.
You didn't write songs like that first one we talked about.
Yeah.
Compared to today.
Yeah. It's different, but
it happens in degrees, right?
It happens in degrees.
Yeah, it happens.
You go through life stages. And,
yes, you do.
And you write about those stages in life, and you become that. Your guitar playing changes, and
it does. Now, you talked about you majored in guitar, and you're classically trained.
Yeah.
How has that affected you as a songwriter?
Some songs I'll add, some finger picking guitar stuff.
I noticed you finger pick.
I like to finger pick. I like some darker stuff, and a lot of my songs are minor too. And I do like
key.
I do like things minor. I love to finger pick, and I love minor sounding music. And I think classical music is you have everything.
You do, don't you?
Yeah, there's a lot you can take from it. And for guitar playing with my writing, I think. I like to think of myself as a guitar player and a songwriter.
Though not your first instrument, right?
No. Well, no. It was originally piano.
Piano.
Actually, I think before that was violin, but that didn't last long.
That's right. I didn't read about the violin. Yeah. We call that a fiddle here soon.
Sorry, fiddle. But piano and then guitar became my primary instrument.
So that's what you write on mostly?
Mostly guitar, yeah.
Do you still play the piano occasionally?
Yeah. I'll play. I'll sometimes write on the piano.
How about drums? Because you did. You can't write on the drums too much. You can't.
I guess you could. I mean, if you wanted to.
Yes.
You could do some cool avant-garde stuff.
That's true. There's Wipeout, I guess.
There are. I think there's a lot of music that's primarily drum focused, which is cool. Parts written out, elaborate parts.
I do want to ask you about something you used to do in Vegas that I thought was so cool.
Yeah.
These parties that you would put on.
Okay, yeah.
Tell us about that. It was just a great idea.
So I did this thing called Game of Tones.
Game of Tones.
Game of Tones.
That's incredible. That's great.
Game of Tones. And what it was is I wanted to put on little house shows that also acted as a charity event.
Oh, cool.
So what I'd do is I'd have 3 or 4 artists play, and basically the idea is it's all unplugged. So you go in, there's no amplification, no sound system. It's all, the room's quiet.
Yeah.
And there's no walls. So the fourth wall is open.
Oh.
So basically the audience is part of the show too, and they can ask the artist questions.
Nice.
And, it's meant for the artist to just share their music, play a few songs, completely stripped down. They can say whatever they want. And the audience can go back and say, hey, well, what were you thinking about during this time? Or whatever, they can ask about what they had for breakfast. And at the same time, it's charity. So it's all donation-based, and the donations go towards a charity of our choosing for that.
Have you done that here in Nashville?
I haven't done it yet.
You need to. I think it's a great idea.
I do
what a
want
cool
to.
idea that is.
It is, and it's a lot of fun. And it's a lot of fun because you get really intimate with the crowd. And
you do. House parties are a thing.
There are, yeah.
In fact, I'm playing one tomorrow night.
Oh, cool.
As we record this, and they really are fun. And if you want a fun night, you're trying to think of something like these folks, Thompson Station, the Hills, they invite their whole neighborhood.
Oh wow!
And they all show up, and they've got a big house, and they invite 2-3 songwriters in. And we just swap songs all night and tell the stories behind the songs, and we eat, and we just have a blast.
That's amazing.
And everybody throws a little tip money in, and it's just a wonderful thing. So there's an idea for you in the future. House party,
house parties, house shows. I mean, it's a beautiful thing.
Isn't it a beautiful thing?
I've heard of major touring acts, and they started doing house shows.
Yeah,
where they travel around and go to people's houses.
It's a cool.
It's really cool.
Yeah, it is.
But I think being able to share your music in any type of venue
absolutely
is a beautiful thing. Especially when people want to listen.
Absolutely.
Because writers like us, we have things that we want to say and things that we want to share, and
it's really good to have that audience that listens. Yeah. And, when you throw a song out like that and you watch them, it's immediate impact. You can tell if it's working or not.
Yeah.
And I love that about it too.
Yeah. And people care. I think people do want to listen.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It just depends on where you go.
That's right.
Music is universal.
Have you been to the Bluebird? Have you played there yet?
I have played the Bluebird, yeah.
What'd you think?
Oh, it's cool.
Wasn't that a neat
very
experience?
Cool. Before I moved to Nashville, I didn't know much about country music at all, or Nashville. But then when you get here, you quickly learn how important the bluebird is, and
Yeah, you do.
how magical it is. And, I was lucky to get asked to play there, and I got to play. Well, first I did the open mic there when I first moved to town.
That's cool to do. Monday night,
and with Barbara, and you call in and you get on the list. And
yes, you do.
I got in. That was pretty cool. And then a little bit later, I met someone that was like, "Hey, are you free to play the bluebird?"
Let me check. Yeah.
In a round in the middle, and wow, that's so cool.
It's so fun.
And it was such a cool experience.
Gave me chills. I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
You think about all the famous people that got started there, and great writers.
Everyone's done it. Do you do it pretty often? Or?
Well, I've done it like 4 or 5 times.
Okay.
So, but every time it's like the first time.
It's like you still get nervous when you walk in there.
Can't wait to do it again.
It's really cool.
Treasure Yearwood played there the other night.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and full capacity of the Bluebird. If you've never been, it's about 90 people.
Yeah,
And they say it was just real intimate. She played requests and talked to the fans, and it's so cool.
It's an awesome.
Of course,
place.
Garth was signed there. Actually,
that's right. I heard that
so many times.
Yeah, so that's true.
Taylor Swift started there.
Yeah, it's an amazing place. Really, lots of history.
Lots of history in this town. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
We're really glad that you're a part of that community and a part of Nashville now. How long have you been?
So I moved out here originally in 2018.
18, okay.
2018, during COVID, I went back to Vegas.
Oh, man. And don't blame you.
Yeah, I went back home and was with my family, and then I moved back out here pretty recently. Probably about a year. A year back now, a year and a half maybe.
Good.
So it feels good to be back. But yeah, originally 2018.
Yeah. Well, good. Very awesome. You got a new project coming out?
I got some new music coming out.
Very, very soon. We need to be watching your website for that.
Yeah, the website, my social media. Mm-hmm. Lots of new music this year.
Is it a new CD, new record?
So I think it's going to be an EP, but also like you were saying, I think probably release some singles first. And then,
seems to be a thing to do. EP today.
Yeah.
Even Kelsey Ballerina's new one's an EP.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, which was really nice.
So seems to be the thing. Yeah.
Yeah, so EP, a few singles, and I'm just excited to get some new music out.
If you're not familiar with that term, by the way, EP is just 5-6 songs. 5-6
songs, and it's just a shorter album.
Yeah, shorter album. Yeah.
Yeah.
We have smaller attention spans these days.
Yes, exactly.
So it's probably a good thing.
Yeah.
I wish you the best, and I hope that you will take us out with a song, Camden West.
Cool. I'll do one called Painting on the Wall.
Oh, cool. Very good. You do have a song for that.
Yeah. Sea of gold with pastel smoke coming from your every angle. I'd like to know the abstract curves I can't seem to untangle. Point me in the right direction. It's my impression that we might have some kind of connection, but we can never. You're just a painting on the wall, in the spotlight, here in my mind, and I know that you're untouchable. Just like a ghost that I think I know, but I don't, like a painting on the wall. I feel cold 'cause of all your brush strokes I can't seem to feel. So I wrote this song, thinking maybe you could see the colors that appeal. But I know you're not really listening. No, you can't hear me, but I had to put it down in writing so I can stop denying you're a painting on the wall. In the spotlight, here in my mind, and I know that you're untouchable.
just like a ghost that I think I know, but I don't, like a painting on the wall. Oh, yeah, like a painting on the wall. I got a feeling that you're gonna be here tomorrow, looking right through me with those eyes that don't blink at all, like a painting on the wall. In the spotlight, here in my mind, and I know that you're untouchable, just like a ghost that I think I know, but I don't, like a painting on the wall. In the spotlight, here in my mind, and I know you're untouchable, just like a ghost that I think I know, but I don't, like a painting on the wall. Oh, yeah, like a painting on the wall. Point me in the right direction. It's my impression that we might have some kind of connection, but we can never.
Cameron West, our guest on this Songwriter Connection podcast. Cameron, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's good to get to know you a little bit better.
Yeah.
Make the connection, if you will.
Make the connection.
Yeah. We'll see you out there. Don't forget to check Cameron's webpage, which is
CamdenWest.com.
Camden.com.
Yep.
There you go.
CamdenWest.com.
And listen to his music on Spotify or wherever you find it. And we'll catch you next time.
Thank you for listening to the Songwriter Connection podcast. Find us on social media at Songwriter Connection. Also, listen to Dave Lanahan's Nashville Connections radio show. It streams live every Friday morning on WOBL and WNOI. Look for us on Facebook and YouTube. See you next time on Songwriter Connection.